Utah is still one of the fastest growing states in the nation. But what if I told you that so many of the people that make the move to Utah are shocked by what they didn't expect? And look, most people think that moving to Utah means mountains, clean cities, and just beauty all around. And they think it's simply just an outdoor paradise. And yes, all of this is very true. But there are also 10 things that nobody really truly explains. And if you don't know these 10 things prior to making the move here, Utah and the reality of living here full time just may not match your expectations. By the end of this video, you'll know if Utah is actually the right place for you. And you'll also know what surprises most newcomers. And finally, how you can avoid the biggest relocation regrets that I've seen. And trust me, number 7 catches almost everybody off guard. Let's get into it. Okay, first up, number 1, let's talk about the culture shock. Utah has a very distinct culture, even if you don't realize it until you actually live here. And a very large segment or portion of the population here are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints that so many people refer to as the Mormons, and that certainly influences the communities and the cities where you live here in Utah. And this influences social circles, social events, school calendars, alcohol laws, family dynamics, and neighborhood interactions. And this isn't neither good nor bad. This is just different. It's unique to Utah. But if you're moving from a big coastal city, this could feel like a big change for you, and it might feel very different. And to me, the key is knowing ahead of time and knowing what to expect so that when you get here, things don't feel off. And speaking of things that people don't expect, well, this one's next. Utah is not just Salt Lake City. People oftentimes think of Utah as Salt Lake City. And to me, that's like saying California is just Los Angeles. It just doesn't hit the same. There's so much more throughout the state of Utah than just Salt Lake City. And yes, while Salt Lake City is the urban core of the state of Utah, along with the progressiveness and all of the things that you're going to see in a larger city, as well as the nightlife, there's so much more to experience. For example, to the south of Salt Lake City in Utah County, the Provo metropolitan area centered around the city of Provo is completely different. It's a more family-centered college town or city than anything else. And then if we move to the north in Ogden, it's a more historic, more affordable metropolitan area that's completely different than that of Provo. And of course, there's still Park City and St. George in southern Utah that's more of a playground, a more resort-style community. And look, this is the thing that's most important. Choosing the wrong community and the wrong city to live in Utah for you is the big mistake. And it results in people actually hating living here because they simply didn't land in the right place. And that's exactly where my job kicks in. I am here to help you. If you're looking to make that move, please reach out to me. Let's connect. Let's start the conversation to make sure that we can find the perfect place for you so that when you make that move to Utah, you enjoy it because your expectations are exceeded and not leaving you misunderstood or you're falling into the pitfalls that so many other people have made when relocating. Now, moving on, this next one affects your daily life more than you might think. Okay, number 3 is air quality, and this might affect you more than you think. And when we talk about air quality in Utah, we're talking about the inversion in the wintertime. And basically, in layman's terms, what this means is the air gets trapped down in the valley floors, the colder air, therefore trapping the pollution down in the valleys. During those winter months, that can really kind of be a drag. And honestly, even though we typically see about 14 to 17 days per year of inversion weather, and it can feel gloomy and feel like one of those places that you don't want to be in the wintertime. Now, I've talked about this in many other videos. There's a lot of workarounds. And some of the best loopholes to get around this is plan a little mini staycation or go up in the mountains, go skiing, go to southern Utah or get up to Park City where you're outside of that inversion. There's a lot of things that you can do to work around this problem, but you need to know what to expect. And while most people move here, they think clean mountain air. And yes, that is true most of the year, but winter can tell a different story, especially if you're sensitive to that air quality. Now, let's next talk about something that most everybody thinks that they understand. Number 4, the weather can feel more impactful, more extreme than what you expected. And to start this conversation, yes, Utah enjoys the 4 seasons, and so many people that make the move here want to experience all 4 seasons. We do have those hot, dry summers. We also have the cold, snowy wintertime months as well. Or we also have those rapid temperature changes that we oftentimes experience in spring and fall. But also, snow can last longer than expected, and sometimes, including this year, snow shows up much later than we expected. expected. And what all of this means is if you love variety and constant change, Utah is amazing. I love the variety that the weather here provides in the state of Utah. I think it's fantastic to have these different seasons. It can feel a little bipolar in the spring and fall when the weather can't really decide is it wintertime or not, but overall, it's an amazing place to live because of weather, in my opinion. But if you hate the cold, if you hate winter, if you hate driving in the snow, this might not be the right place for you, or you might want to find the right place in Utah where it doesn't impact you very much. But even with all of this said, weather is not the biggest adjustment when making the move to Utah, but this next thing is. Okay, next, let's talk about actual lifestyle living here and who you're connecting with when you make the move here. And honestly, this next point, number 5, is connecting with new friends in Utah can take a little bit longer than other places. So look, Utah is very family-centric and family-oriented, and a lot of people here live in very connected communities where they already have very large social circles. Utah in general is very social. So that sounds great, that sounds amazing. But what that means for outsiders oftentimes is that making the move here, it can feel like it takes a little bit longer to break through those circles, not because people aren't wanting you in, but really they've already got their circles established. Therefore, they're not actively looking to bring new people into their social circles. And so for this reason, I always tell people, if you're moving to Utah, you might be best positioned to move to a place where other people are moving to as well, because then you can find countless people that kind of have the same framework or mindset as you in that they're moving here and relocating here as well, and much more motivated to find new social circles here in Utah. And so while people in Utah are incredibly friendly, more friendly than most places in the country, they aren't always socially available. I think that's the best way to describe this. And so what that means is you'll have to be a little bit more proactive. Okay, next, now this is where Utah really starts to surprise a lot of people. Okay, Utah's outdoor access is unmatched. Now, the outdoors and the outdoors lifestyle in Utah, this is, well, Utah's superpower. And pretty much anywhere in the state of Utah where you live, you're within 20, 30, or maybe at the very most 40 minutes of being in the middle of the mountains with countless trails and other recreational opportunities. It's honestly limitless. There's so many opportunities here. And it's not just in the wintertime, it's the summertime, it's the 5 national parks, it's world-class skiing, mountain biking, summer activities, winter activities. It doesn't matter the time of year, there's something here for everybody. And so if you actually use or appreciate the outdoors, Utah's incredible. It's unmatched. But if not, you might feel wondering, why is everybody so obsessed with it? Well, until you actually experience some of these things or enjoy the beauty and the scenery that Utah provides, you may not understand it fully, but it is the most incredible city in the entire country to enjoy the outdoors. But this next thing on the list affects your wallet in a very big way. Okay, here it is. We're talking about cost of living. And the cost of living in Utah is on the rise. And look, Utah used to be cheap, but that is no longer the case. Housing prices have surged, and that means it costs more to live here. Rent has climbed rapidly, and wages and salaries, while they have risen dramatically and cracked into the top 10 in the entire country, they still don't keep pace for everybody, especially those that haven't changed careers or jobs recently. And while Utah is still very affordable compared to certain areas, especially coastal areas in California or many other areas around the country, of course, there are pros and cons to the cost of living here in Utah, including property taxes and cost of living for groceries and utilities and housing and everything else combined. It really falls somewhere near the middle of the pack in the country in terms of overall cost of living, but it's something to be mindful of. And it's certainly not what local Utahns remember to be the case just a handful of years ago. And next, this next one connects directly to jobs. Okay, the job market in Utah is incredibly strong, but it is also a little bit niche. Yes, Utah is the strongest economy, the #1 rated economy in the entire country for all 50 states. And while Utah does have a very diverse economy that stretches well beyond just the tech scene and Silicon Slopes, it's also incredibly strong in the healthcare sector, as well as education, construction, advanced manufacturing. There are a lot of things happening in the economy here in the state of Utah. And so what that means to you is if your career aligns with what's happening here in Utah, Utah is amazing. But if not, remote work just might be the best fit for you. Now, let's move on. And this next thing, let's talk about lifestyle. Okay, life moves a little bit slower in Utah, and in Utah, we prioritize lifestyle and family. And what that means when you make the move here is things are closed on Sundays oftentimes, or things close earlier than what you might expect. Early nights, less nightlife, and more daytime activities is baked into the culture here in the state of Utah. And like I always say, nobody makes the move to Utah for the nightlife. If that's the thing for you, you might want to look elsewhere down in Vegas. But if you don't prioritize these things, Utah can be stunning and amazing and peaceful and everything in between, all the things that you might be looking for. And for some people, this is peace, and for others, it's pure boredom. That just depends on your perspective. And really what I think is the most impactful portion of that equation is how much do you experience and enjoy the outdoors? If you do, Utah is the funnest place to live in the entire country. But if you don't, you might get a little bit bored here. And finally, number 10, the biggest truth of all. Utah is amazing, but only if it matches you. Look, Utah isn't trying to be New York or Los Angeles, nor is it trying to be any other major metropolitan area throughout the West or anywhere in the country. Utah is uniquely different in every way, shape, and form. And I believe that Utah is perfect for so many people, including families, outdoor lovers, and people that are just seeking peace, stability, and that beautiful outdoor scenery. And it's also incredible for people that are looking for what I like to think of as just stability. But if you do make the move here and you expect Utah to change for you, well, you might be greatly disappointed. And furthermore, you might find yourself struggling here. But if you adapt to and embrace what Utah is, you will thrive here. So just a quick recap. Culture matters here in Utah more than just about everything. But the location matters immensely. Depending on where you choose to live and where you choose to move to is so incredibly important. And most of all, your expectations have to be aligned with the reality of living here. And that's precisely why I am here. And if you came into this video thinking that Utah's all mountains and low costs, I'm hoping that this video did its job in setting the expectations so that you know what to look for and what to expect. And as always, if you're considering making the move to or within the state of Utah, my team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. This is what we do every single day. So reach out to us. Let's get the conversation started. You can even book a video call with me in that link that you'll find in the pinned comment on this and every video. And if you want to learn more just like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay in touch and get the best information needed to make sure that this move goes smoothly for you as well. And if you're looking to learn more about life in Utah, check out this playlist next. And until the next video, thanks.